Hello, Shenanigamers, and welcome back to Doki Literature Club. When we last left off, we weren't okay. At all. And now, the game is all messed up. So, let's do this. Oh, Siora is dead, so there's that too. But from what I've heard, and people have messaged me, it happens. So, all right. And again, I apologize for no Doki last week. My voice was shot due to a different game with Villa entirely. It was so funny. But anyway, but I wasn't able to do the voices. I'd still kind of choppy a little bit, but, you know, I'm going to try my best for you guys, okay? Okay. Right into it. Buh. I see an annoying girl running toward me from the distance, waving her arms in the air like she's totally oblivious to any attention she might draw to herself. That girl is my neighbor and good friend since we were children. You know, the kind of friend you never see yourself making today, but it just kind of works out because you've known each other for so long, and you're kind of an idiot, you know, I guess. We used to walk to school together turn that up just a little bit. We used to walk to school together on days like this, but starting around high school, she would oversleep more and more frequently, and I would get tired of waiting up. It's basically starting over. But if she's going to chase after me like this, I almost feel better off running away. However, I just sigh and idle in front of the crosswalk and like, blah, 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 blah. Catch up to me. It's an ordinary school day like any other. Mornings are usually the worst, being surrounded by couples and friends in friend groups walking to school together. I was trying to digest what just happened. My brain is... Okay. Meanwhile, I've always walked to school alone. Sounds right. I always tell myself it's about time I meet some girls or something like that, but I have no motivation to join any clubs. I'm perfectly content just getting by on the average while spending my free time on games and anime. There's always the anime club, but it's not like there would be any girls in it anyway. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Ooh, trying to clear my throat. Alright. The school day is as ordinary as ever, but it's over before I know it. After I pick up my things, I stare blankly at the wall, looking for an ounce of motivation. Clubs. There really aren't any that interest me. Besides, most of them would probably be way too demanding for me to deal with. That's right. I guess I have no choice but to start with the anime club. Comes in for kid. Oh my god, why the fuck did that scare the shit out of me? Monica? Oh my goodness, I totally didn't expect to see you here. It's been a while, right? Yeah, it has. Monica smiles sweetly. We do know each other. Well, we rarely talk, but we were in the same class last year. That counts for something. Doesn't. It really, really doesn't. Monica was probably the most popular girl in class. Smart, beautiful, athletic. Basically, completely out of my league. So having her smile at me so genuinely feels a little... What'd you come in here for anyway? It sounds more... I'm making my guy sound more annoyed than what he should be. What'd you even come in here for? Oh, I've just been looking for some supplies to use for my club. Do you know if there's any construction paper in here? Or markers? I guess you could check the closet. You're in the debate club, right? About that, I actually quit the debate club. Really? You quit? Yeah. To be honest, I can't stand all the politics around the major clubs. It feels like nothing but arguing about the budget and publicity and how to prepare for events. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. In that case, what club did you decide to join? Actually, I'm starting a new one. A literature club. Why did it... Literature? That sounds kind of dull. Not to mention evil. How many members do you have so far? It's kind of embarrassing, but there are only 3 of us so far. It's really hard to find new members for something that sounds so boring. Well, I can see that. But it's really not boring at all, you know? Literature can be anything. Reading, writing, poetry. I mean, one of my members even keeps her manga collection in the club room. What? Really? Yeah, it's funny, right? She always insists that manga is literature too. I mean, she's not wrong, I guess. And besides, a member's a member, right? Did Monica say she? Hey, Crimson Vacator. By any chance, are you still looking for a club to join? I mean, I guess so, but in that case, is there any chance you could do me a big favor? I won't ask you to join, but if you could at the very least visit my club, it would make me really happy. Please? Well, I guess I have no reason to refuse. Besides, how could I ever refuse someone like Monica? Pretty easy. Pretty sure she's evil. Sure, I guess I could check it out. Awesome. You're really sweet, Crimson Forgetter. You know that? It's nothing really. Shall we go then? I'll look for the materials another time. You're more important. Thank you. I am more important. And thus, today marks the day I sold my soul to Monica and her irresistible smile. Didn't I already sell my soul to Sayori, though? For a cupcake that wasn't even one that she made? I don't know. Maybe. I timidly follow Monica across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit, being generally used for third-year classes and activities. Monica, full of energy, swings open the classroom door. I'm back, and I brought a guest with me. Oh my god. Why is it doing that? Stop. A guest? Seriously? You brought a boy? Way to kill the atmosphere. Don't be mean, Natsuki. But anyway, welcome to the club, Crimson Bucket. All words escape me in this situation. This club is full of incredibly cute girls. These two, not this one. Not never. Ever. Never her. Never. Okay? So, let me guess. You're Monica's boyfriend, right? What? No, I'm not. Natsuki. The girl with the sour attitude, whose name is apparently Natsuki, is one I don't recognize. Her small figure makes me think she's probably a first year. Yeah. Just a little young. Anyway, this is Natsuki, energetic as usual. And this is Yuri, the vice president. It's nice to meet you. Yuri, who appears comparably more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with someone like Natsuki. Yeah, it's nice to meet both of you. Not really. Not you. You, yeah, kind of, maybe. You kind of weird me out a little bit too. You're evil, you weird me out, and I hate you. I'm screwed. Okay. So, I ran into Crimson Faketa in a classroom, and he decided to come check out the club. Isn't that great? Wait, Monica, didn't I tell you to let me know in advance before you brought anyone new? I was going to, well, you know. Sorry. I didn't forget that, but I just happened to run into him. In that case, I should at least make some tea, right? Yeah, that would be great. Why don't you come sit down, Crimson Faketa? The girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. Yuri walks to the corner of the room and opens the closet. Meanwhile, Monica and Natsuki sit across from each other. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Monica. So, I know you didn't really plan on coming here, but we'll make sure you feel right at home. Okay? As president of the literature club, it's my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. I'm surprised there aren't more people in the club yet. It must be hard to start a new club. You could put it that way. Not many people are very interested in putting all the effort to start something brand new, especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention like literature. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile. But it makes school events like the festival that much more important. I'm confident that we can all really grow this club before we graduate. Right, Natsuki? Well, I guess. Natsuki reluctantly agrees. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. Monica must have worked really hard just to find these two. Yuri returns to the table carrying a tea set. 1 second. I did prints and stuff. There we go. She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot in the middle. You keep a whole tea set in this classroom? Don't worry, the teachers gave us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? I guess. Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. That's not... Insulted, Yuri looks away. I meant that, you know. I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but at least I enjoy tea. I'm glad. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. So, Crimson Fakere, what kinds of things do you like to read? Well, considering how little I've read the past few years, I don't really have a good way of answering that. Manga? I mutter quietly to myself, half joking. Natsuki's head suddenly perks up. It looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet. Good. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shut up. Shut up. Okay. Gotta quell the Natsuki rage. Okay. Not much of a reader, I guess. Well, that can change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyway, what about you, Yuri? Well, let's see. Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with her finger. My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me. And telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive. Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seemed so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in, but it's obvious by the way her lights up that she finds her comfort in the world of books, not people. People are not always good. That's good. But you know, I liked a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements usually immersed me as well. Isn't it amazing how a writer can so deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately. I read a horror book once. I actually do enjoy reading horror. Horror books are good. I desperately grasp something I can relate to at the minimum level. Minimum effort. At this rate, Yuri might as well be having a conversation with a rock. I'd expect that from you, Yuri. It suits your personality. Oh, is that so? Really, if a story makes me think or takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down. Surreal horror is often successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment. I hate horror. Oh, and why is that? Well, Natsuki's eyes dart over me for a split second. Coffee. There. Natsuki's eyes dart over to me for a split second. Pretty sure I read that. Never mind. That's right. You usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki? What? What gives you that idea? You left a piece of scrap paper behind the last club meeting. It looked like you were working on a poem called Don't Say It Out Loud and Give That Back. Fine, fine. Natsuki, you write your own poems? Well, I guess sometimes. Why do you care? I think that's impressive. Why don't you share them sometime? No! Natsuki averts her eyes. You wouldn't like them. Not a very confident writer yet? Sharing that level of writing. I think I might have had to read that as Yuri. Oh well. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart. Do you have writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example and help Natsuki feel comfortable enough to share hers. I guess it's the same for Yuri. We all sit in silence for a moment. Hey, I just got an idea! Imagine that! How about this? Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically at Monika. Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. And then next time we meet, we'll share them all with each other. That way, everyone is even. I mean, I thought it was a good idea. Well, I think you're right, Monika. We should probably start finding activities for all of us to participate in together. I did decide to take on the responsibility of vice president after all. I need to do my best to nurture the club as well as its members. Besides, now that we have a new member, it seems like a good step for us to take. Do you agree as well, Crimson Fakir? Hold on, there's still one problem. What's that? Now that we've reached the most important Now that we've reached the most important topic, I bluntly come forth to what's been on my mind the entire time. I never said I would join this club. Again, never said I was. Monika may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made my decision. I still have other clubs to look at, and I lose my train of thought. All three girls stare back at me with dejected eyes. These two girls stare at me with dejected eyes. This girl, I don't care. She might as well be looking at a fucking wall. Don't care. I'm sorry. I thought... The girls exchange glances before Monika turns back to me. I guess I need to tell you the truth, Crimson Bucket. The thing is, we don't have enough members yet to form an official club. We need 4. And I've been trying really, really hard to find new members. And if we don't find one more before the festival, I'm defenseless against these 2 girls. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like this? I would feel terrible for letting anyone down in this situation. And besides, the club itself seems pretty relaxed. So if writing poems is the price I need to pay in order to expend every day with these beautiful girls, those 2. Just those 2. Right. Okay, I've decided then. I'll join the literature club. One by one, the girls' eyes light up. Oh my goodness, really? Do you really mean that, Crimson Fucker? Yeah. Could be fun, right? You really did scare me for a moment. I mean, if you really just left after all this, I would be super pissed. Crimson Fucker, I'm so happy. We can become an official club now. Thank you so much for this. You're really amazing. I'll do everything I can to give you a great time, okay? Thanks, I guess. Okay, everyone. I think with that, we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone remember tonight's assignment. Write a poem to bring to the next meeting so we can all share. Monika looks at me once more. Crimson Bucket, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. Yeah. Can I really impress the class star Monika with my mediocre writing skills? I already feel the anxiety welling up inside me. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri cleans up the tea set. I guess I'll be on my way then. Okay. I'll see you tomorrow then. I can't wait. With that, I depart the club room and make my way home. The whole way, my mind wanders back and forth between the 3 girls. 2 girls. Not Natsuki. No, just blur her face out. I hate everything she's about. Yuri, and of course, Monika. You know, still kind of creepy, flat out pretty much evil. Will I really be happy spending every day after school in a literature club? Perhaps I'll have the chance to grow closer to one of these two girls. So I'd rather go with evil or crazy than no clue. Don't care. Alright. I'll just need to make the most of my circumstances. I'm sure good fortune will find me. Yeah. Because that's what happened last time. And I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. Oh my gosh. Uh-oh. I unlocked a special poem. Do I dare? Can you hear me? All right. So now that my main boo is gone, it's just her, and I know hers. Tragedy, not cheeks, variance. It's all the big words. Infallible. Pleasure. Frightening. No! Ah! Okay. Sorry. Disaster. Despise. Not boop. As much as I want to hit boop. Massacre. Not marshmallow. It looks like a big word. Not excitement. Unrequited. Melancholy. Not strawberry. That just looks. Alone. Universe. Crimson. I totally missed. Where am I pointing? Maybe I'll put something there. Horror. Graveyard. Disoriented. Fickle. Unrestrained. Sensation. Say, I know Yuri. I know Yuri pretty well. Hi again, Crimson Bucket. Glad to see you didn't run away on us. Don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but I at least keep my word. Well, I'm back at the literature club. I was the last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Thanks for keeping me. What was that? What just happened right there? I wasn't looking. I was looking down. Did she blink? What was that? Thanks for keeping your promise, Crimson Bucket. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you, making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it. Oh my god! The fuck was that? Oh, come on. Like he deserves any slack. You already had to be dragged here by Monica. I don't know if you plan to come here and hang out or what, but if you don't take us seriously, I'm starting to back away from the screen, because if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of it. Okay, nothing happened. Why? I can't. Monica, you're in the way. Natsuki, you certainly have a big mouth for someone who keeps her manga collection in the club room. Why are you in the way? Get out, Monica. Move your tits and ass out of my fucking way. Thank you. Did the music just change? Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga. Manga is literature. Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back into her seat. I'm sorry, Crimson Bucket. We'll make sure to put your comfort first, okay? Yuri shoots Natsuki with a disappointed glance. I thought she was going to shoot her first. Just... Anyway, now that you're in the club and all, perhaps you might have interest in picking up a book to read. Well, I can't really say no either way. Like you said, I'm in this club now. It only feels right for me to do something like that, if you ask. Oh, wait. I didn't mean it like that. If you don't really want to, then forget I said anything, I guess. No, it's not that, Yuri. I want to try to be a part of this club. So even if I don't read often, I'll be happy to pick up a book if you wanted me to. Are you sure? I just feel like, well, as vice president and all, then I should help you get started on something you might like. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I don't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention, even if you don't usually read. And we could, discuss it if you wanted. This is... How is this girl accidentally being so cute? See, we've gone over this all over. She even picked out a book she thinks I'll like, despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you. I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book. Phew. Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. Oh my god, I hate that music. I hate it. I hate it so much. Now that everyone's settled in, I expected Monica to kick off some scheduled activities for the club. But that doesn't seem to be the case. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a little bit more, but at the same time, I would feel bad for distracting her from reading. I catch a glimpse of the cover of her book. It looks like the same book that she lent to me. More than that, she seems to be on the first few pages. Ah, crap. I think she noticed me looking at her. She sneaks another glance at me and our eyes meet for a split second. But that only makes her hide her face deeper in her book. Sorry, I was just spacing out. I mutter this, sensing I made her uncomfortable. Oh, it's fine. If I was focused, then I probably wouldn't have noticed in the first place. But I'm just rereading a bit of this, so... That's the book you gave me, right? Mm-hmm. I wanted to reread some of it. Not for any particular reason. Just curious, how come you have 2 copies of the same book? Well, when I stopped at the bookstore yesterday... that's not what I meant. I mean, I just happened to buy 2 of them. Ah, I see. There's something fairly obvious here that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decided to let it go. She got the book for me. She got it for me. Because she wants me. She loves me. I'm irresistible to her. It's okay. She can't remember the finger, but I remember the finger. Okay? There's something fairly obvious here that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decided to let it go. I'll definitely start reading it soon. I'm glad to hear. Once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. It's a very engaging and relatable story. Is that so? What's the point? What's the story about, anyway? Well, I look at the cover of the book. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. There's an ominous-looking eye symbol on the front cover. Basically, it's about this religious camp that was turned into a human experiment prison. And the people trapped there have to have this trait that turns them into killing machines that lust for blood. But the facility gets even worse, and they start selectively breeding people by cutting off their limbs and affixing them to... Oh, that might be a little bit of a spoiler. Spoiler alerts, Yuri. Spoiler alerts. I gotta read the book. Damn, girl. But anyway, I'm really into it. The book, I mean... not the thing about the limbs. It's kind of dark, isn't it? It is. But I like dark. I like dark. Darkness. Yuri made it sound like it was going to be a nice story, so that dark turn came from nowhere. Are you not a fan of that sort of thing, Crimson Fakir? No, it's not that. I mean, I can definitely enjoy those kinds of stories, so don't worry. I hope so. Yeah, I totally forgot that Yuri is into those things. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different. It's just that this kind of story, that's the kind that challenges you to look at life from a strange new perspective. When horrible things happen, not just because someone wants to be evil, but because the world is full of horrible people and we're all worthless anyway. Then suddenly, oh my god, I'm rambling, aren't I? Not again. Sorry. Hey, don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything. Well, I guess it's alright then. But I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem. Well, and I let things like books and writing fill my thoughts. What? I wish I could read that fast. I saw my whole body part. I kind of forget to pay attention to other people. So I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange. And please stop me if I start talking too much. I really don't think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading. The least I can do is listen. It's a literature club after all. That's true. In fact, I might as well get started reading it, right? Oh my god! Why am I so fucking jumpy? I'm just gonna... Yes. Yes! I mean, you don't have to, but... What are you saying? Let me just get the book. I quickly retrieve the book that I put in my bag. Alright, it's fine if I sit here, right? I slip into the seat next to Yuri's. Yeah. Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive. I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to. It's just something I'm not very used to. That is, reading in company with someone. I'm sorry, I'm waiting for the next thing to happen. Why doesn't it let me... I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything. Alright. I open the book and start the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It's as if I can feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. It's not a particularly bad thing. Not really good either. Maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri is in the corner of my eye. I realize that she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. It looks like she's reading from my book instead. Sorry. I was just... Oh my god. Bathing in what? Yuri, you really apologize a lot, don't you? I do? I don't really mean to. Sorry. I mean... Here, this should work, right? I slide my desk up until it's against Yuri's, then I hold my book more between the two of them. I suppose so. Yuri terminally closes her own copy. Once we lean a little bit, our shoulders are almost touching. It feels like my left arm is in the way, so instead I use my right hand to hold the book open. I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn the page. Here. Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and forefinger. I do the same with my right arm on the right side of the book. That way, I turn a page and Yuri slides it on her thumb after it flips to her side. But in holding it like this, we're huddled even closer together than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. I read that totally wrong. It's actually kind of distracting me. It's as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face and she's in the corner of my vision. Are you ready? To turn the page? Sorry. I think I got a bit distracted for a second. I glance over at Yuri's face again and our eyes meet. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her. That's okay. You're not as used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. It's probably the least I can do, since you've been so patient with me. Yeah, thanks. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she finishes the page before me, so I turn it by my own volition. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her as she catches it under her own thumb. Hey Yuri, this might be a silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit. Huh? No, I don't relate to this character at all. Definitely not. Really? I was just thinking the way she second guesses things she says and all that. That's what you were talking about. Sorry. I thought you meant something else about her. Something else? Never mind. We didn't even get that far yet, so I don't know why that even came to my head. Yuri, are you feeling alright? Yuri's been a little fidgety ever since we started reading. You can rest if you're feeling sick or something. Your breathing is a little... My breathing? Yuri puts her hands on her chest as if to feel her heartbeat. I didn't even notice. Anyway, I'm fine. I just need some water. Alright. Don't push yourself. Yuri stands up and practically rushes out of the classroom. What on earth was that about? Oh my god. Every time something's gonna come up, I'm gonna fucking freak out now. Did something happen just now? Huh? I have no idea. Yuri's acting a little strange, I guess. So you don't know anything. Sorry, can't say that I do. Are you worried about her? Huh? No, not really. I was just making sure that you didn't do anything to her. What the fuck? What? No, nothing. Don't worry. I believe you, silly. Yuri just does this sometimes, so it's nothing alarming. Alright, if you say so. Anyway, why don't we start sharing our poems with each other? Eh? Shouldn't we wait for Yuri? Well, she might be a while, so I just figured we'd get started without her. Is that okay? Yeah, I was just asking. I stand up. I make a mental note of where I left off in the book and then slip it back into my bag. Oh, the Monica. Because definitely not Natsuki. I should start with Monica. Yesterday, she seemed eager to read my poem, and I want her to know I'm putting in effort. That's right. Hi, Crimson Bucket. Having a good time so far? Yeah. Good. Glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course, I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Anyway, want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. I wanted to spread it with Yuri, because I'm pretty sure you're evil. At least Yuri's just kind of creepy. Don't worry, Crimson Bucket. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know? But it's just that sort of barrier that we'll all learn to get past soon. Yeah, that's true. I hand Monica my poem. Great job, Crimson Bucket. I was going ooh in my head while reading it. It's really metaphorical. I'm not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something so deep. I guess I underestimated you. It's easiest for me to keep everyone's expectations low. That's actually one of my true things I do in real life. I'm all about low expectations, and I don't let anybody down, and I don't let me down. That way, it always counts when I put in some effort. That's not what I just said, but yeah. That's not very fair. Well, I guess it worked anyway. You know that Yuri likes this kind of writing, right? Writing that's full of imagery and symbolism. Maybe sometimes I feel like Yuri's mind is just totally detached from reality. I don't mean like that's a bad thing, though. But sometimes I get the impression that she's just totally given up on people. She spent so much time in her own head that it's probably a much more interesting place for her. But that's why she gets so happy when you treat her with a lot of kindness. I don't think she's used to being indulged like that. She must be really starved for social interaction. So don't blame her for coming on a little strongly. Like earlier, I think if she gets too stimulated, she ends up withdrawing and looking for alone time. Suddenly, the door opens. Yuri! I'm back. Did I miss anything? Not really. We all just started sharing our poems with each other. Huh? Already? I'm sorry for being late. No need to apologize. We still have plenty of time, so I'm glad that you took all the time you needed. All right. Thanks, Monica. I suppose I should get my poem now. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to not be very good. Well, that's because I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know. I see. Well, let's read it then. Hole in a wall, but he wasn't looking at me. Confused, I frantically glance at my surroundings, but my burned eyes can no longer see color. Are there others in this room? Are they talking? Are they simply poems on flat sheets of paper? The sound of frantic scrawling playing tricks on my ears. The room begins to crinkle, closing in on me. The air I breathe dissipates before it reaches my lungs. I panic. There must be a way out. It's right there. He's right there. Swallowing my fears, I brandish my pen. That's a good poem. That's a good one. That's a good one. So what'd you think? It's very freeform, if that's what you call it. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback. Anyway, that's okay. Yeah, that kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful. What was the inspiration behind this one? Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you could say that I had some kind of epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a bit. An epiphany? Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you try so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on paper and tidying it up later. Another way to think about it is this. If you keep your brain in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Bye. Yuri. As Yuri reads the poem, I notice her eyes lighten. Exceptional. What was that? Did I just say that out loud? Yuri first covers her mouth, but then ends up covering her whole face. He's going to hate me. You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri. I guess you're right. What am I getting so nervous for? Yuri takes a breath. So, what kind of writing experience do you have? Your use of imagery and metaphors indicates you've written a lot of poetry before. Really? Wow, that's a huge compliment coming from you. This is actually my first time, really. Huh? Yuri stares at me blankly, then looks at my poem again. Well, I know that. I just meant, Yuri trails off, unable to find an excuse. She traces her finger along the words in the poem as if breaking it down more thoroughly. Yeah, okay. This is the reason I was able to tell. It's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. And having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognized as new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they fit the two together. The end result is that both the style and expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone, and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little bit biased, though. Biased? How? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry. It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri is apologizing to herself, to me, or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now? Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily, as if it's a rare opportunity for her. Which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? Ghost under the light. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow, bathing. It must be this one, the last remaining street light to have withstood the test of time, the last to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe, calm, breathing air of the present, but living in the past. The light flickers. I flicker back. I'm sorry, I have such terrible handwriting. What? I wasn't thinking that at all. But it took you a long time to read. Well, I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty. Huh? Oh, that's a relief. Also, I like the poem. Even though it's short, but it was really descriptive. It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems. Not at all. I'm really glad you have liked it. I'll be honest, since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Are you into ghosts, Yuri? Actually, the story isn't about the ghost at all, Crimson Fakir. Really? I must have totally missed the point. Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all, but remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost, lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing. That's a lot more solemn putting it that way. What a downer. I hadn't even thought about that. That's impressive. It's nothing really. Yours was impressive too, so nah. If anything, I could probably learn a thing or two from you. You think so? Yeah, of course. You know, I was really nervous about doing all of this, but in the end I enjoyed it. I'm going to keep doing my best for you, Crimson Fakir. Me too. Editor, can you please skip through this next part? Oh my god! What the fuck? Crimson Fakir, if you're not going to take this club seriously, then go home. What? Harsh. What do you expect me to believe, that you're actually put effort into this? Do you think I'm stupid? I'm not a writer. Maybe it's not very good, but yeah, I did put in effort. We all start somewhere, right? If you're still proud of the first poem you ever wrote, then I'd like to read it. Painful to think about? Fine. Well, sorry. You'll get better anyway. I'll tell you what to improve, but you're better off just trying again. Fair enough. Well, to each their own, I guess. Anyway, I guess I gotta share mine now. Knowing you, you'll probably think it's stupid. This is the same. Eagles can fly, monkeys can climb, crickets can leap, horses can race, owls can seek, cheetahs can run, eagles can fly, people can try, but that's about it. Yeah, I told you that you weren't gonna like it. I like it. I don't like it. I hate it. I hate you. I was more taken back about the eyeball thing now that I feel bad if something bad happened to her. But, what? Just be honest. I am. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it? Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff. So people don't even take my writing seriously. But isn't the point of poems for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid. Yes, exactly. I like when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. Like in this poem. Seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening, so I decided to write about it. Yeah, I understand. But the other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like I set it up for a rhyme at the end, but then it made it fall flat on purpose. It helps bring out the feeling in the last line. So you did. I guess more went into that than I realized. I didn't really care. That's what it means to be a pro. Oh my god, I'm so pro. I'm glad you learned something. Didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did you? Yeah, I guess not. I decided to humor her with that last comment. I don't really care how old everyone is, but if Natsuki is feeling proud, then I won't take that away from her. I guess that's everyone. I glanced around the room. That was a little more stressful than I anticipated. Yeah, it was. It's as if everyone is judging me for my mediocre writing abilities. Even if they're just being nice, there's no way that my poems can... I don't like that song! No way my poems can stand up to theirs. This is a literature club after all. I sigh. I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Monica is writing something into her notebook. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly. What's with this language? Did you say something? Oh, it's nothing. Natsuki dismissively returns the poem to the desk with one hand. I guess you could say it's fancy. Thanks. Yours is cute. Cute! Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? It clearly about the feeling of giving up. How can that be cute? I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice. You mean you don't have to try that hard to come up with something nice? You mean you have to try that hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but it really didn't come out nice at all. Well, I do have a couple suggestions. If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who had actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Monica liked it, and Crimson Fucker did too. So based on that, I'll gladly give you suggestions of my own. First of all, excuse me. I appreciate the offer, but I've spent a long time establishing my writing style. I don't expect it to change anytime soon, unless of course I come across something particularly inspiring. Which I haven't yet. And Crimson Fakir liked my poem too, you know. He even told me he was impressed by it. Natsuki suddenly stands up. Oh? I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri. Why? Is there? I feel like I see like a shadow going across my room. I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri. That's not what I... You're just... Yuri stands up as well. Maybe you're just jealous that Crimson Fakir appreciates my advice more than he appreciated yours. And how do you think he didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you that full of yourself? No. If I was full of myself, I would deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy. Ooh. Well, you know what? I was the one whose boobs magically grew a size bigger as soon as Crimson Fakir started showing up. I think I just messed up my own name. Natsuki. Natsuki, that's a little... This doesn't involve you. Taking out your own insecurities on others like that. Oh my god. Oh my god, stop. You really act as long as you look, Natsuki. Me? Look who's talking, you want to be edgy, bitch. Edgy? Sorry that my lifestyle is too much for someone your mental age to comprehend. See? You're just saying that proves my point. Oh my, stop! Most people learn to get over themselves after they graduate middle school, you know. If you want to prove anything, then stop harassing others with your sickening attitude. You think you can counterbalance your toxic personality just by dressing and acting cute? The only cute thing about you is how hard you try. Whoa, be careful, you might cut yourself on the edge, Yuri. Oh, my bad, you already do, don't you? Did you just accuse me of cutting myself? I can't save. Why is everything... I just feel like I need to... Did you just accuse me of cutting myself? What the fuck is wrong with your head? Yeah, go on. Let Crimson Fakir hear everything you really think. I'm sure he'll be head over heels for you after this. Suddenly Yuri turned towards me as she just noticed I was standing there. Crimson Fakir, she's just trying to make me look bad. That's not true. She started it. I'm not liking any of this. I agree with Yuri. I don't even know what I'm agreeing with. Hi. Can I just... Yuri one more time. Hey Crimson Fakir. Why don't we step outside for a little bit? Okay? Sorry about that. They really shouldn't have tried to get you involved. It's probably better for us to stay out of this. We'll go back inside once they're done yelling. So president I am, right? I can't even confront my own club members properly. I just wish I was able to be a little more assertive sometimes, but I never have it in me to put my foot down against others. You understand, right? Anyway, if this makes you want to spend less time with the others, then that's fine. I'd be happy to spend time with you instead. Suddenly, Natsuki runs out of the classroom. She quickly runs away. Oh dear. Well, it looks like they're done. Oh my gosh. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. Yuri is rocking back and forth on her desk with her palms on her forehead. Yuri? I didn't mean it. I believe you. I have no idea what Yuri might have said to Natsuki. Or did. Crimson Fakir. Please don't hate me. Please. I'm not like this. There's something wrong with me today. It's fine, Yuri. We know you didn't mean it. Besides, I'm sure Natsuki will forget about it by tomorrow. Completely. Anyway, the meeting is over. You can go home by now. Yuri looks at me like she wants to say something, but she keeps glancing at Monica. You can go first, Monica. I'd like to stay a little bit longer. I'm the president, so I should be the last one out. I'll wait for you to be done. Well, I'm vice president, so please let me take care of that responsibility today. Kind of like it sounds like you don't want me around for something, Yuri. It's not like that. It's not that. It's just... I didn't get much of a chance to discuss my book with Crimson Fakir. It would be embarrassing with you listening. Sigh. I guess I really don't have a choice, do I? I'm sorry for causing trouble. Alright, I'm going to continue onward. We're going to go judgment. I don't even know what that one is. Determination. Misfortune. Romance. No! Really? Extreme. Contamination. Tenacious. Damn it. Incongruent. I'm actually going to get through this poem. See what happens after that, and then I might have to save it after that. So I can get this video out for you guys. Thank you guys all again for watching. I do appreciate it. Infinite. Intellectual. Entropy. Horror. Suicide. Vivacious. Uncontrollable. Crimson. The uncontrollable Crimson. Another day passes and it's time for the club meeting already. I've gotten a little more comfortable here with the past few days. Entering the club room, the usual scene greets me. Oh my god, welcome back, Crimson Fakir. Hi, Yuri. I'm not sure if it's me or if it's Yuri's expression. What expression? There's nothing there. But the weight of yesterday's quarrel still hangs in the air a little. Yuri glances over his shoulder, looking around the room. Natsuki is reading a manga at the desk, and surprisingly, Monica isn't even here yet. Suddenly, Yuri takes my arm and pulls me to the corner of the room. About yesterday, I really need to apologize. Nothing like that has ever happened before. And something just came over me, I guess. I wasn't acting mentally sound. Oof. I don't know what it is about my arm, it just... Please don't think we're usually like this. Not just me, but Natsuki as well. Yuri, I'm happy that you were considerate and apologized. You don't have to worry too much. Even though I've only been here a couple of days, I could tell something was off yesterday. Maybe we were just a little extra sensitive because it was our first time sharing poems. But whatever it was, it didn't make me think anything less of you. I had already decided that there's no way you could be a bad person. And now that you're apologizing, I know you really didn't mean it. Crimson Bucket. Don't say those kinds of things so frankly. They make me a little too happy. I'm really glad that you are such an understanding person. Sorry, I gotta move. And I'm really glad that you joined this club. Everything is a little bit brighter with you around and... Sorry, what am I saying right now? Have you guys seen Monica? No, I haven't. I was kind of wondering where she was. Man, Yuri, I'm guessing you haven't either. Yuri is clearly taken aback how calmly Natsuki approached. No, I haven't. Jeez, this isn't like her at all. I know it's stupid, but I can't help but worry a little bit. What? Why are you looking at me like that? Natsuki, about yesterday. I just wanted to apologize. I promise I didn't mean any of those things I said. And I'll do my best to stay under control from now on. So, Yuri, what the heck are you talking about? Did you do something yesterday? Huh? Jeez. Whatever's on your mind, I'm sure it was nothing. I don't know how to read that. I don't even remember anything bad happening. You're the kind of person who worries too much about the little things, aren't you? But, I'll accept your apology anyway, even if it helps you feel better about it. Besides, I kind of feel nice to hear it since I was always afraid you secretly hated me or something like that. No, not at all. I don't hate you. Well, you're kind of weird, but I don't hate you either. Natsuki turns to me. You're still on trial now. Hey! Suddenly, the door swings open. Sorry, I'm super sorry. Ah, there you are. I didn't mean to be late. I hope you guys weren't worried or anything. Well, Natsuki was. I was not! What took you so long anyway? Well, my last period today was study hall. To be honest, I kind of just lost track of time. That makes no sense, though. You would have heard the bell ring at least. I must not have heard it since I was practicing my piano. Piano? I wasn't aware that you played music as well, Monica. Don't give me more credit than I deserve. I guess I've been practicing for a while, but I'm still not really good yet. Still, that must require a lot of dedication. So, I'm still quite impressed. Well, thanks, Yuri. You should play something for us sometime. That's... Monica looks at me. Well, I'm working on writing a song, but it's not quite done yet. Maybe once I get a little bit better, I will. That sounds so cool. I look forward to it. Is that so? In that case, I won't let you down, Crimson Facade. Monica smiles sweetly. I didn't mean to pressure you or anything like that. Don't worry, I was hoping that I could share it with you anyway. I guess that's why I've been practicing so much recently. I see. I'm not sure if Monica was referring to the whole club or just me. In that case, best of luck. Thanks. So, I didn't miss out anything, did I? No, not really. I chose not to bring up anything the three of us talked about. Besides, Natsuki has already run off into the closet. Crimson Fakir, since your compliments put me in a good mood, I was wondering if you would like to spend some time together today. I mean, in the club. Yeah, definitely. I planned on it anyway. Okay, can we start now? Let's find a place to sit. Hi, I'm being a little forceful, aren't I? I'm sorry. My heart just won't stop pounding for some reason. Don't worry about it. If anything, it's nice to see you have so much energy. Yeah, but I need to try to calm down. I won't be able to focus on reading like this. Take your time. Yuri takes a deep breath and then pulls a copy of the book out of her bag. Actually, I have a request. Do you mind if I make some tea first? Not at all. Thanks very much. If there's one thing that can make my reading time here any better, it's a nice cup of tea. Not to mention for yourself as well. Yuri stands up and makes her way to the closet. I follow and watch as she retrieves a small water pitcher from the shelf, the kind with the filter inside. Can you hold this for a second? Sure. Yuri hands me the water pitcher and also fetches an electric kettle. I'm going to plug this in at the teacher's desk, and then I'll go get some water. She walks past me and sets the kettle down on the teacher's desk. I simply watch her movements. To my surprise, the way she moves really contrasts her speaking mannerism. Especially because of her long legs, Yuri appears elegant and methodical. Okay, may I have the water pitcher? Thanks. I'll be right back. I might as well walk with you. That's okay. You stay here. It won't take long. Pitcher in hand, Yuri hurries out of the classroom. Did Yuri leave you again? It's not. No, it's not like that this time. She's just rifling up the water for the water pitcher, filling up. Why did I say rifling? She's just filling up the water pitcher to make tea. Oh, okay. Sorry for misunderstanding. 10 minutes pass. Yuri said it wouldn't take long. Is something holding her up? I'm bored just waiting here, so I decided to go look for her. Let's see. The most logical place for Yuri to be would be the nearest water fountain. I start heading down the hallway. What's that noise? It's coming from around the corner. It sounds like breathing. A sharp inhale, like someone sucking the air through their teeth. Are they in pain? I reach the corner and peer around it. Yuri? Oh, shit. Yeah? Oh my god, I can't read that fast. The fuck is going on? I'm back. Thanks for waiting patiently. Crimson Fucker, do you like oolong tea? Yeah. Anything is fine. Very well. Yuri sets the temperature on the kettle to 200 degrees. Now it's the time to get the teapot. Are you ready to do this? You really do this properly, don't you? Of course. I shouldn't do any less when I'm making tea for others. Even if I'm not an expert on tea or anything. In that case, you'll only be even more impressed. Perhaps I will. Yuri fetches the teapot and begins measuring tea leaves. To my surprise, she even starts humming a little to herself. You must be in a good mood now. Is that so? I was letting it show. And you noticed? I was doing a bit of thinking, and I decided that I would try expressing myself a little bit more. It turns out it's not very hard for me to do. When it's you who's around anyway. That's great, Yuri. Just don't push yourself too much. You're always worrying about me, Crimson Fakir. It's very endearing. Yuri wasn't kidding. Why does she look like a lot like Sayori right now? Yuri wasn't kidding. I don't even know if I can keep up with this. I watched Yuri pour a cup of tea for each of us. Crimson Fakir, I have another request. Do you mind if we sit on the floor today? Why is that? It's a little bit easier on my back. And I can read with my back against the wall rather than bending over at my desk. Sorry, I didn't realize. No worries. I just have a back pain fairly regularly, so I do my best to manage it. Is that so? I wonder why that is. It's most likely because my... Your posture, right? Yeah, that's right. Your posture. Always hunched over like that while reading? Yes. I have terrible reading posture. That's why we should sit on the floor. Fair enough. I'll go ahead and get the book. I retrieve the book from my bag, and I have some chocolate as well. It's a bag of small chocolate candies. I take it since it'll go well with the tea. Yuri and I then sit against the wall, teacups at our sides. As if in sync, we assume the book reading position as last time, each holding one half of the book. As if in sync, we assume the same reading position as last time, each holding one half of the book. Except this time, our bodies are even closer to each other. I can't see too well. Yuri slides closer until our shoulders are touching. How am I supposed to focus on reading like this? Yuri was always kind of cute, but when she's being less apprehensive, it's almost more than I can handle. Your teacup! Yuri hands me my teacup. Holding with my hand that's not holding the book, I ended up in a position that makes it even harder to focus. Because now I need to worry about making sure I don't accidentally touch her chest. Meanwhile, Yuri hasn't noticed a single thing. She wears her intense reading expression, and I can only presume the world around her has faded away. I use all of my willpower to focus on reading. After a few minutes, I finally manage to relax a little. I put the teacup between my legs and fumble with the chocolate wrapper. Sorry. I briefly let go of the book to finish opening the wrapper. You can have as much as you want. That's okay. I won't take any. Are you sure? Well, if I touch it, then it might get smudges on the pages. You're right. I didn't even think about that. My bad. No need to apologize. I'll hold the book, okay? Are you sure? Of course. Yuri opens the book with both hands. She holds it so that I don't have any harder of a time reading from it, but as a result, her left arm is practically resting on top of my leg. Well, in that case, Yuri is already totally focused on reading again. I take a chocolate candy and pop it into my mouth, and then I take another chocolate, and I hold it up to Yuri. She doesn't even look away from the book. She simply parts her lips as if this situation was completely natural. But that means I can't stop here. It does. I apprehensively place the chocolate in her mouth. Just like that, Yuri closes her lips over it. Yuri's expression suddenly breaks. Did I just... Yuri looks at me like she needs to confirm what just happened. Crimson Fakir. Sorry, I guess I shouldn't have done that. Yuri starts to breathe. I don't like it when the music just cuts out like that. Yuri starts to breathe heavily. I can't. Crimson Fakir. Suddenly, Yuri forcefully grabs my arm and jerks me to my feet. My teacup gets knocked over. Crimson Fakir. Oh my god. My heart. My heart won't stop pounding, Crimson Fakir. I can't calm down. I can't focus on anything anymore. Can you feel it, Crimson Fakir? I don't like this. Yuri suddenly presses my hand against her chest. Why is this happening to me? I feel like I'm losing my mind. I can't make it stop. It even makes me not want to read. I just want to look at you. Oh my god, get away from me. That's not cute. That's not. Oh my god. Okay. It's time to share poems. Do I really want to go back to talking to Yuri? Fuck it, why not? Why not? I've been waiting for this. Let's see what you've written for today. Yuri stares at the poem with a surprised expression on her face. Do you like it? Crimson Fakir. This one might even be better than yesterday's. How did you even pick up on this so quickly? Just yesterday I was telling you the kind of techniques worth practicing. Maybe that's why. You did a good job explaining. I really wanted to try giving it more imagery. Yuri visibly swallows. Even her hands appear sweaty. That makes me so happy. It's so amazing to feel like I'm valued, Crimson Fakir. Everything that you write is a treasure to me. My heart pounds just holding it. I don't like it when your heart starts pounding though, Yuri. I want to write a poem about this feeling. Is that bad, Crimson Fakir? I'm not being weird, right? I'm having a harder time than usual at concealing my emotions. I'm kind of embarrassed. But right now I just want you to read my poem too. I don't know if I want to read it. Okay. Wheel. A rotating wheel, turning an axle, grinding, bolt head, linear gearbox, falling sky, 7 holy stakes, a dock ship, a portal to another world, a thin rope tied to a thick rope, a torn harness, parabolic gearbox, expanding universe, time controlled by slipping cogwheels. What? Existence of God swimming this doesn't make any sense. Swimming with open water in all directions, drowning. A prayer written in blood, a prayer written in time-devouring snakes with human eyes. A thread connecting all human eyes, a kaleidoscope of holy stakes, experimental gearbox. What? A sky of exploding stars. What? A god disapproving the existence of God. What? A wheel rotating in 6 dimensions, 40 gears and a ticking clock, a clock that ticks for every, oh my god, second for rotation of the planet, a clock that ticks 40 times every time it ticks us every second. What? A second time, a bolt head of, okay, I feel like I'm going to have a stroke reading this. It doesn't really matter what it's about. My mind has been a little hyperactive lately, so I had to take it out on your pen. That is, a pen fell out of your backpack yesterday, so I took it home for safekeeping, and I really dislike the way it writes, so I wrote this poem with it, and now you're touching it. I'm okay. What did I just... Can we just pretend this conversation never happened? I'd love to. But I highly doubt it's going to be that way. You can keep the poem, though. Just push it through. Crimson Fakir, I think I saw you something earlier that you weren't supposed to see. I didn't want to have to tell you this, but I don't think I have a choice. It's kind of dangerous for you to spend so much time with Yuri. I don't know why, but she seems pretty easily excitable when she's around you, which shouldn't be a problem in itself. But when Yuri gets too excited, she finds a place to hide and starts cutting herself with a pocket knife. Isn't that kind of messed up? She even brings that different one to school every day, like she has a collection or something. I mean, it's definitely not because she's depressed or anything like that. I think she just gets some kind of high from it. It might even be like a sexual thing. But the point is, you kind of been enabling her. I'm not saying it's your fault though, but I guess that's why I had to explain it all to you. So I think if you keep your distance, that would probably be best for her. While you're at it, don't be shy to spend a little bit more time with me. To put it lightly, I at least have it all together in the head, and I know how to treat my club members. But anyway, you want to read my poem now? She is so fucking evil. That is the face of fucking evil incarnate right there. That is fucking pure evil. God. That's just what makes her irresistible. I like this way this one turned out, so I hope you do too. I don't... Save me. This is... Save me. The colors they won't. Bright. Beautiful colors. Flashing, expanding, piercing. Red, green, blue. An endless cacophony of meaninglessness noise. The noise, it won't stop! Violent. Grating waveforms. Squeaking, screeching, piercing, sine, cosine, tangent. Like playing a chalkboard on a turntable. Like playing a knife on a breathing ribcage. Endless poem of meaninglessness. Delete her. What? Sorry, I know it's kind of abstract. I'm just trying to, well, never mind. There's no point in explaining. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes you'll find yourself facing a difficult decision. When that happens, don't forget to save your game. You never know when, who am I talking to? Can you hear me? Tell me, can you hear me? Anything. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Yeah, just as I thought. Crimson fucker, come on. I'm not stupid. I know how much time you've been spending with Yuri. It's obvious that you care more about impressing her than trying to improve your writing. To put it bluntly, it's kind of pathetic. Why are you even in this club, Crimson fucker? Honestly, I thought of getting a new member would help everyone get more involved together, not exclude each other even more. This is such a stupid activity anyway. Look, I'm not in a good mood today, and I just really don't feel like talking right now. Please go away. Good. The last time I unlocked a special poem, I didn't like it. A joke. A man walked into a club. In the club, there was a girl who liked him very much. They spent more time together, and then she liked him even more. One day, the girl realized she was in love with him. Before disaster could happen, a third party intervened with her programming. Suddenly, the girl hated herself for being in love. This contradiction caused the script to derail. The universe started to collapse, but she killed herself just in time. Is that Sayori? I'm gonna go ahead and save this one. And I don't know if we're close to the end or not. I'm just don't know. So I guess till next time, Shenanigamers. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.